The idea of art as political and social commentary is not a new one. It's one that we've seen before, going back to the realists of the 19th century and earlier. But it takes on a different form when we get into contemporary art. We're going to see a lot of activist art. Now, activist art is something we've dealt with in the past. Activist art is art by an artist who's trying to push a specific idea, a specific message to the people. And this is not the same as propaganda, because propaganda generally comes from a state source, whereas activist art is coming from a much smaller source. So when we have activist art, we're also going to have the artist acting as social conscience. Now, again, this is an idea that we've seen. The artist is drawing our attention to specific ideas. Now, I said that this is political and social commentary. The two get mixed quite a bit, and as we move closer and closer to the time of this recording in 2021, you will notice that those lines between social commentary and political commentary really do blur, and that's that culture war that I talked about in the introduction, where every issue is split between the two sides. There isn't really a mid-ground for a lot of things. So the artist is acting as social conscious. This is something that's gone back to the Enlightenment, to the very beginning of this section. So going back to the end of the 17th and early 18th centuries, where artists were reacting against the effects of the Industrial Revolution. They were reacting against many of the ideas of modernization going on. We see in the 19th century artists such as Millet and the Gleaners, his painting The Gleaners, creating this idea of class structure and calling our attention to these issues. The women who are picking wheat out of the field, kernel by kernel, versus the farmer in the background with all of that surplus. And so we're seeing these ideas continue. The difference is that while the themes and ideas may be similar to things that we've seen in the past, the methods, the techniques, the materials have changed. We've seen the development of new ideas, such as abstraction, such as the use of lettering or typography in art, such as the use of very basic iconography or symbolism in art. So all of this comes together to create art of political and social commentary in the contemporary world.